All right, welcome back. I was gonna say we should probably hurry before the goat says something, but it said something. So, just dire things. We talked about having to automate the goo process, and you can see it's doing it now. So I'm making the evolved form of the coal. So let's take a look real quick, and I'll kind of run through this. And I'm not playing this as a tutorial channel. I've done that before, and I felt like it was a lot less fun for everybody. The idea is to just, see my experience with this mod pack, and every playthrough is going to be a little different because most mod packs like this, especially with the bonuses that they have. Oh, I forgot to do a lot of things, but yeah, let me grab this real quick. Get my 40 from the daily warden kill. Yeah, so for example, when we're going through all of this, every single time we hit this and we get the gift of stone, the item that you get will completely change things. Like I see on there's something called the Rending Gale. Isn't that the flight ring from ProjectE? Imagine getting that at the beginning. Imagine getting the repair talisman and not needing to repair anything and having everything get fixed. It changes how you play. So that's how I see this game. And so now that I'm back recording videos and stuff, I kind of wanted to focus more on just like showing the fun I have with games like this. I've done this so many times, like 9 or 10 different ways over different mod packs, and this is a completely different way than I've ever done it. All right, so I digress. Starting to talk too much. Now, let me try to explain this as quickly and simply as possible. Enough so that if you are unfamiliar with this farm, you can make it yourself in your own way. So that center block right there is the goo. So it's a setup with 4 goos, and we only have, oh gosh, you're gonna interrupt, aren't you? Hey, we got flux dust. So I'm gonna go back into shaders, but you need to turn off shaders if you want to see the progress. Otherwise, just trust the process, I guess. Getting all the way to Celesta Gem was important, at least. This allows us to do an energy transmitter that sends power to all of this. It just makes things easier, in my opinion. And these advanced clickers and stuff like that also require Celesta Gem. So we had to get to this point before we can automate this. Now, things you need to automate. Let's start with this one. The center one is basically checking to see if the goo is fed. So we have the void shimmer goo, and basically there's 4 of them in there. And if less than 4 of them are quote unquote alive, you can right click this for settings. It will send a strong signal, and that's how the sensors work. All of the Just Dire stuff has this rendering area, the advanced ones, and can do a whole like area. It can get bigger too, but I mean, I only need this much sort of covered. And it's very important when you set this up that you surround it in glass. Make sure there's no air gaps inside. And that's because of something later on. Now, when this thing detects that it needs to be fed, like it's not alive, the advanced clicker basically right clicks on it with an ender pearl. And that's where it'll do it when it's high until it's been right clicked. Now, we have an allow list, so it's only going to right click the void shimmer goo, so it shouldn't waste the ender pearl. Now, this is just simply the basically a pusher pushing ender pearls to the left. That's really all this is. The reason this is here and not over here is you don't want the sensors connected to each other and sending signals and cross-contaminating. Just redstone gets wonky. That's a technical term. And oh, we should probably explain the energy transmitter. It's not required. You could send power to all of these underneath, but I find it much cleaner to just use the energy transmitter. It's going to send enough power to make all of these kind of work because the energy cost is fairly low for all of these. Yeah, so this one, the advanced sensor will detect whether or not you have any of these. So these are the 4 coals and then the 4 ores. And if you have any of those, it'll basically send a signal, because again, it's looking at the entire area. And I also have the redstone lamp. Basically, if it senses that one of them is there, I was expecting it to just like pop like that. It'll light up, and what's going to happen is this thing is going to break. Oh, there we go. See, it's lit up. It's breaking. And now there's something it needs to break. So it's active only during that process. So this one only is active when there's a signal. We have a Celesta gem in here. I put efficiency 8 on it just to make it go faster, but it really shouldn't matter. And this also has the auto smelter upgrade installed to it. This makes it so that I don't have to go through a furnace and everything. You don't need fortune. Just Dire Goo and ores don't actually get affected by fortune. It's always like, I think 2 to 4, 2 to 3 that kind of drop. So yeah, just don't use silk touch. That's really it. Okay, so we whitelist basically these, and I don't recommend ever lowering the speed below 20. It does cause a lot of lag on servers, and especially for something like this as is working passively, it's not needed. It really isn't. There's enough of a delay where you're waiting for it to process the, I guess, the ingots or the ores or the blocks to make it into dire ore, that yeah, it's just not needed. And the negatives are just too much for servers and stuff. So this is the breaker, this is the feeder, and then over here basically is the placer. So this is a little more tricky. It's looking at the entire area. There's 108 blocks in that area. And the reason I said don't make sure there's no air gaps is this is how this functions. If there's less than 108 blocks in there, this thing will place a block and I'll fill it up. And you want it to make sure that it only will place that on the cardinal directions above and below as well of the goo. There you have it. It's very simple, and whatever gets placed in here, it's gonna come from this, and I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, so it's gonna detect if there's less than 108. That means one of these is empty, and it's gonna place either gold, iron blocks, diamond blocks, netherite blocks. What else? All the different coals, and that's how we process it. Now, that's how all of this works. There's something called a machine settings copier, and basically if you shift right click one of these, it'll copy the XYZ radius and offset. I believe that's it. That's the only thing it should copy. And you can right click to paste it into another block. That makes configuring this a lot easier than manually like moving them constantly. Let's turn off this. Okay, so you have that, and what I sort of automated a little bit more is basically I have a advanced hopper here sending to the bottom, which is basically this. I think I placed it like this. So it's sending to the bottom any of these items, and only the blocks that can go there. So that's charcoal and coal, and all the different coal blocks that we've created already. So when this thing gets harvested, it's going to get collected by the item collector, which has a big giant radius on this entire thing, because I mean those things can pop out. So we're going to turn that off, and again, keeping it at 20 ticks is fine. I do have a demagnetizer here set up with the max radius as well, and that prevents me from walking by and all of a sudden having a full inventory. And basically when you break the ore, it's going to be a void flame coal or a blaze ember or a primal coal, or it won't ever be these ores, I guess. because it'll be smelted. So once it gets in here, and the reason I've kept this sort of cleared is if I get, say, let's say a blaze gold ingot, right? So if I get one of these blaze gold ingots, because it gets auto smelted, right? It's gonna go in here, and it's not going to get placed anywhere else. And anything on the over there, let me break this, is gonna get sucked in here and gonna get placed into the functional storage. Basically, it's gonna get sent to my storage system. And in order for this to work, none of these here can be in my storage system, or else it'll pull it. The fact that there's like a buffer here is just to help me out a little bit in case I do that. But the point of this barrel is to collect and store anything that's collected and send it to my storage system. It's also compacting anything into blocks and basically compacting these into void flame coal blocks, blaze ember blocks, etc. You just saw that happen. And then it sent it over here because the hopper upgrade is sending anything over. But it won't send anything that's not filtered here using the memory settings. So that's how I've got this worked out. Honestly, the stacks aren't even critical. I just didn't feel like having to deal with too many blocks or too many boxes. And that should be it. If you guys have questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll try to answer things as best as I can. I've been doing this for almost a year and a half now, ever since I started playing with just Dire in all the mods 10. This is very helpful. And the reason that I probably should show you guys, there's like basically coal here, right? If you right click it, the fuel is, it smelts 8 items. Is there a thing that shows the power? Full 32,000 RF, is that it? Well, if we look at the, let's do void flame coal, I guess. Yeah, 864,000 RF. So basically it smelts 216 items versus 8. So it's better. And if you can process it, it's not that expensive, especially since like ender pearls are free from the mob farm and all that. All right, so all of this is going to be used to feed my generator, which is the generator here. And if you remember, I put in 64 last time, and I've been casually using stuff, and we haven't gone through too much. So yeah, that's why now the way this is set up is basically any charcoal that gets sent here is getting sent into the storage system. But if there's something like that's needed here, it will be used. It'll be either placed here or it'll be used in the furnaces. But right now there's really no need at all. Actually, I'm not even 100% sure. Like, will we have issues when we run out? Probably. I may have to disable this from like getting sent to at least this thing right here. So I'm probably going to do that now, actually. Any of these wrenches will work. That removes it. I'm going to be setting up another batch of coal making anyway. Also, there's a lot of coal here, as you can see, because this thing, 4.6 thousand buckets of molten carbon. So I'm not going to have any issues with coal. So I figured I'd use like coal generators for now. And that's what's in here. Now, I'm lazy. The simpler way is honestly just grab a bunch and then head over to where you're doing your Just Dire stuff and just, you know, place it manually in here and all that. What I did, and the reason these are here, is these ender drawers. They basically are like cross-dimensional, cross-area, space and time boxes that share the same, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, what's over there in my storage system is also over here, and they're exactly the same. Because I put a bunch of coal in here and like 1.4k. And these are placed here and here, and all they do is basically push that stuff into here. Again, I'm not a tutorial channel, and I'm gonna go do a bunch of stuff that we need to do. And I do have a giant list of stuff. Well, not giant. I've been knocking it out. I haven't actually gone over this yet, but I need more coal fluid cows, which I've gotten. I got to figure out like what power generation I'm going to end up doing, because I should store up a giant battery full of it. We're going to do the enchantment library. So once we progress, we'll get it. 8 world engine upgrade. I think we did that recently. Craft lockpicks. We already did that. Haven't done Reforger. We just did coal automation. Feeder backpack upgrades. We'll do that today. And void cam upgrade. Okay. I think this is just in case everything overflows, but it shouldn't. Because this is in a multiplayer world, and it'll only work when I'm like actually loaded in. So I'm not too worried. I do want to quickly get latex set up today as well. And possible power idea is, I believe we could use source for one of the generators. I'll have to double check, but at the same time, that's why we set up the cactus source link thing. So the ergonomic that we got last time, which should actually be here still. No, it's not. It's actually over here. This thing, when something grows, it gets energy, right? So I'm thinking maybe this snad will work, and we can snad cactus and fill it up. I've used that strategy in different packs, and not all mod packs support it, but pretty sure FTB and all the mods are 2 that support it. So we'll go do that after a bunch of other stuff we got to do. We got to upgrade ourselves. So yeah. And now that we have a storage system, we could probably do this really quickly. So let's grab and make a few of these for my backpack. Really? Melons. And there we go. So now we have the auto feeder. At some point, I want to eat all the foods just because it adds more hearts, but it's not really critical, and I'd like to set up a kitchen somewhere. Okay, so that goes into my backpack. We smithing template. We do have a smithing template, so let's make a copy of this. It's kind of important to have a bunch, and we have the resources. There, we have 24 of these. I want to upgrade, and do we have netherite? We don't have like. There's a few things we really need to get. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. When did I get 19 blocks of netherite? Okay, we're good. Must have been the short. Oh, you know what? It might be running the dungeon, the machinist's fault. Okay, let's throw this in here. You saw what I did, right? I always switch it to netherite nugget first before it goes in here, because depending on the mod pack, sometimes it'll do just the iron ingot here, or the ingot here and not here. I've just had that issue, so I always just like switch it to a nugget first now. Okay, so you got that in there. That's even better. All right, so, and that should be in here. We're going to grab some netherite ingot, and we're going to grab the template, and we're going to take my backpack, and we're going to place my backpack in the, oh, do we not have a smithing table? Let's make a smithing table. Wait, I think we do. Well, there's one for this side, I guess. All right. Here we go. Netherite backpack. Does that mean we can add another tier or stacking upgrade? Wait, there it is. I think it does. Did it have any more? I want to do that now. Let's just pull the one from this one. No, you can only have one. That's really interesting. All right. Oh, and because I have like extra backpacks, you can only have 2 here. You can basically carry 3 backpacks total. But because I have that, I have slowness. But because of how fast I am, it really doesn't matter. And then when you're flying, it doesn't matter. Also, if you ever get into that situation, if you're jumping, you jump at like, you can move at normal speed when you're jumping. So if you're encumbered, you can do that. Or if you're slowed, you can do that. All right. So we have the auto feeder and we have food. We should make more carrots. I don't think I have that many carrots. Oh, wait, we're good. For now, we're just going to do vanilla golden carrots. Throw that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure the memory is set up. And this will eat. It'll block nothing, but I guess we should just prioritize this since we're adventuring. And then we'll do this as a backup. I don't think it's in order. I think it's based on the order of where it is in your backpack, actually. So you know what? We'll remove the potato for now. Oh, and let's see. Next thing, I want to make a Philosopherer's Stone as well as the Ancient Codex. So let's make the Ancient Codex first. So I don't love this spell book because it has spells I don't really need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the ones that I prefer. We're also going to make some spells that I want. These are like my go-to spells whenever I play a mod pack. They don't really come in handy that much in like all the mods and like FTB Evolution and packs that have Cataclysm mod. But there are some that are like much hard. I guess in all the mods 10 it's actually pretty useful now. I think I just rambled, but yeah. So next we want to craft this. A few episodes ago, we got the Ruin Book. And I've been wanting to make the Ancient Codex because it has a 20% cooldown reduction and it holds 12 spells. That's the reason I want it. Now we should be able to make it. I think. Wait. All right. So we need a cauldron. I don't know if we can make an alchemist cauldron yet. I think we can. Because part of what we've been doing is we've been getting essences as well. So we need to make an alchemist cauldron. Oh no, we don't have a cinder essence yet. We can buy it from the Infernal once we get to him. And when we fight Ancient Knights. Okay. But can't we get blood from just a normal? I could have sworn I knew how to get blood. This does not bode well. Really not have any. I mean, it makes sense. Does a normal cauldron work? Okay, let me try this. This is a long shot, but I know in some packs, you can bleed yourself with a normal cauldron. Let's put it over here. No. Oh yeah, it is. Hey, we did it. So yeah, pro tip, here's how you make blood. We're gonna need some isn't it convenient that we have all of this everywhere? All right, so we got that's a lot of bottles. We've been importing them from our mob farm. Okay, so that's 3. I guess we'll make a few more. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure you need the campfire. Just note that. Okay, that's fine. We have a lot to do in this episode and I want to kind of get going, so sorry for rushing us a little bit. I know it's a let's play and it's a slow long play, but there's a lot to do and I want to get going. That's how much fun I'm having with this pack. At some point, when I'm back to streaming, you guys can see my SMP world where I'm playing as well. Oh, right. So, we need to make this. We have blood vials. We now need the arcane claw, which we should be able to. I think we need 4, but I'll just make 8. And we need bottle of lightning, which I know I got before. I know we have a bottle of lightning. Oh no, did it get deleted when I let it despawn? Uh-oh. Wait, no. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so let's create it. I'm telling you, this is really convenient. All right, there we go. Yay. All right. So we're gonna replace my book and place this thing in here. So I have an order. I like this spell called Echoing Strikes, and because we have legendary ink, we should be able to make it. I almost always make Echoing Strikes. I believe it can go higher. It can go to 5, but we need to do this in the Arcane Anvil. And then I think that's it. Yeah. I don't know if we really need to go that high right now, especially since we don't have all the inks. And yeah, the Ender stuff basically comes from the Ender Pearls with the paper and whatever inks. And depending on the ink you put in here, unlocks different spells. Okay, so my first one, I like Echoing Strikes. And then my second one, if I found Fortify. This is one I think I'd like to upgrade. Let's get some rare and epic. So Fortify will add hearts. Whenever we do fights and stuff, that's going to be important. Let's see. Okay, do we have an anvil? We do not have an arcane anvil. We may not be able to make it if we don't have... Oh no, I think we're good. I was thinking of the Spellforge table, but there we go. I'll just put it here for now. Okay, so to upgrade this spell, where is it? Fortify, and there we go. So rare. I don't need to upgrade all of that. I'm gonna upgrade it to rare 7. So we won't go anymore. So we need to find the epic. Epic now. Epic. And then now we could do legendary. And I think it's worth it to do legendary for this one. 15 HP, 8 block radius, 3-second cast time with a 28-second cooldown versus 14 and 8. That is not worth it. Nope, never mind. So we'll put that in there. Fortify. Wait, yeah, we'll put Fortify, not this one, the other one. This one. All right, so what this one does is you do a little dance and you get additional hearts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 hearts, 14 HP. I mean, so that's pretty good. One thing I like to have is this thing. Do I have, am I wearing it right now? No. This basically makes you uninterruptible, so you can always get it off. If you're in a sticky situation, you should always be able to get this off before you sort of lose too much health and die, which gives you time to eat and stuff like that, and also just tank more damage. Okay, so a really, really good spell is actually Divine Smite. If we can upgrade this a little bit. Rare? No. Epic? No. It has to be legendary. 21.2 plus 1.2. I think it's worth it. All right, so now I'd like to do a heal, but I don't have a Divine Pearl. Oh, I do. When did I get these? All right. So Spellforge table, and replace that, and then we can do this basically. Epic Ink. Okay, I think I'm gonna grab haste if I can afford it later. But first we need to get healing. Heal scroll. And then, yeah, I do want to get haste if we can. And haste is pretty damn good, actually, before a fight. So basically, I have my hotkeys set to control 1 for Echoing Strike, control 2 for Fortify, control 3 for haste. So let's move this off. And let's put haste. And then heal. And then Divine Smite is an attack. And then we're gonna do a bunch of other random stuff now. So we have the portal scrolls that I was playing around with, but teleport's the big one I often use. So we'll put that in here. And teleport I usually manually do. So it's control R to cast a spell. This is haste. I go faster. And then control 4 for heal. Now, control 5 is hard for me to hit. And I had to reset some of these, so it's not my normal stuff. What we could do is... We're going to do control 5 for my attack. I don't think I'm going to be using that too often. And one thing with a lot of these spells, they're really loud. Smite specifically gets really loud, so I always just kind of lower it. Like when we get ProjectE, the guitar. I wonder if that thing's going to show up here. ProjectE, uncharged charge. No, it's the charge one. That thing gets so loud. So, spoilers, I'm going to be trying to do this. That's why we're going to be making the, what's it called? The Philosopher's Stone today. Alrighty. I think that's really all, for the most part. Let's get anything else. Invisibility. I figured I'd put it in just to see if it's any good. It probably sucks. What else do we have? Portal. I think it's worth just having it on there. Yeah. I don't know when I'd ever use shield. So I'm not gonna put it in. So yeah, I've set all my spells here for now. Let's throw everything back in there. Wait, is there no spot for this? Hold on. Oh, I missed the spot. That explains a lot. Multiple. Weird. What else have I missed? No, we're good. All right, so we don't have much time left in the episode. We might go into overtime. But I want to create the Philosopher's Stone. And I know for a fact we have gotten Cognitive Flux. And we can also craft it, so that's not too bad. I'm a little excited. So let's get this. And let's make the Infernal Dust, which requires Blackout Powder. Okay, that's easy. And we have to go... Wait. We can do this. Yeah. Okay. So glowstone and sure. Glowstone, glowstone, glowstone. And redstone. I think I got the combination correct. Let's go to the world engine. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. So the reason for this is I actually kind of want to get into replication, which I did in Ocean Block and it was pretty fun. And also I want to make the red guitar if we can. And we could do multiple things. We have so much coal that we should be able to do a lot of the crafting for all the fuels needed to make matter, the black matter and red matter. So let's see. We have Philosopherer's Stone. And we can make 2. I'm making 2. And okay, so our options are either making a crafter. So we have these. Can we make tier 3? I'm sure we can, right? We need to make the machine frame. We need Invar, Lapis, and Redstone. Okay, we got 5. 5 is good. Because that would be much more convenient, I feel. Or tall. I forgot what it's called. We had it in the bag. It is not going to be easy to find. It's also not called a pearl gun right now. Yeah, I can't. I'll deal with it later. It's probably in here somewhere in my backpack. I'm just horrible at like gauging where it is. It's driving me nuts. I need to find it. Not there. Oh. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. Let's put these away. Okay, so now that we have the machine frames, we should be good to go on this. I'm gonna make a bunch of these and then do this. I technically don't need to do this, but we'll see. We need this and then that. So we have a crafter now. We're definitely gonna have to place it over here. By the way, molten aluminum. I'm just trying out different things. I don't think this is gonna stay. Just trying things out. All right, so we need power. Let's. Oh, I don't have the cable. I will use this. It'll be fine. Oh, I can't do it that way. Where can we fit this where it won't look too weird? God dang it. All right, let's just go here. There. Totally works fine. I'm gonna put it here. And here's the machine frame. Wait, machine frame. We need a crafter. We need to basically make the Mobius fuel, the Aeternalis fuel, the dark matter into the red matter. Put them in here. So the first thing is this. Right? Apply. And then we just add all of these in here. And then this one's going to create the dark matter, which is why that's when we bring in the block of diamond. And then we create the red matter, which is just this. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, so this is all that matters. Sorry, bad joke. Very bad joke. But that's how I am. Okay. Let's get started, I guess. We're going to apply it. We're going to on to activate. So we'll take a few of these. I don't know if charcoal will work. So I worry. I don't think charcoal works. Oh no. Wait, what? Oh, charcoal turns into coal and then turns into, oh my God. We might as well do it. Yeah, we might as well do it. I just learned something new. Okay, apply. All of this stays in here because this is specifically for use in the recipe. So apply. All right. Do that. It went way too fast. I'm gonna throw these in here. I'm gonna pause it, or yeah, on to activate. So now we have some coal. Once red matter, we can remove it. Ay, geez, why? Why? I'm busy. That was a really loud one. You can't click and drag these, so we gotta let it go for a second. On to activate. Okay, so and then we just push it in then. Okay, so left. Let's let it go. And then pause it. Okay, I have extras now. So we need to put this. We have that. I need to pause this thing a second. I just want to clean this up a little bit. And it's kind of all over the place now. So coal. Basically, it's charcoal to coal to this thing, to this thing, to this thing. And then you get this thing. That's sort of how this is going to work. So as long as there's a spot for each of these, I think we're good. Doesn't hurt to have 2 extra ones here. And then most of these can be filled. And then do that. So there's 2 for that. These, we're never going to get that much anyway. I think that's the goal. No, we'll do this. Let's move that and... Okay, so remember, and it remembers this whole setup. Power is good. Ignored, and we can just go and just throw all that in there. And we should get what we need pretty quickly. Maybe. So now we need to pull them down from the top. And then this one we need to send back to the left. And there we go. Except I screwed it up. Hold on. This should not be out here. And let's see. So that is the Mobius fuel. That should be internal. Apply and go. Did I do it finally? We're basically, we've got 10 of these to make the dark matter. It just needs to do it. Wait. We don't have room to put the dark matter. Let's shift left click. But okay, now we pause it again. So now we have dark matter. The thing is, we need to save the dark matter actually. We'll do this. And we'll let the dark matter out here for now. So that external. Same thing with this. Okay. We'll add the dark matter when we feel like it. Which, let me grab this. Shift left click removes the I guess the image here. So it lets something else come in. And R is to remember each of these. So that should be good. Oh, and yeah, this thing is cool. And then I forgot the thing is, no, that's just a bigger size. And then, control for this. category ProjectE. There it is. Change mode, charge, and then Control X is the boost effect. Mode, cube mode, panel mode. This is wrong. I do not remember. Is it Control X? It's not shrinking. I don't know how to shrink it. I've like supercharged it. Uh-oh. I gotta be careful. I may have used all my power. But yeah, shooting R is not good. Press not bound. Okay. Okay. Let me figure this out. Category ProjectE. So boost effects, change mode, charge. Yeah. I don't know the extra. Not that. It's not that. That's the crafting table of the Philosopher's Stone. I don't know how to shrink this. I have completely forgotten. Alt V? No. Is it? Ah, there it is. Okay. So after a bit of toying around, V increases the size. So if I wanted to convert all of this to say cobblestone, I can. And then if I do sneak V, it makes it smaller. And then R is basically how you transform like different mobs to different things, if I remember correctly, which is something we still need to do with a Just Dire item, but we need to make something called polymorphic fluid for it. To be able to make red matter. Basically, we can make a lot of red matter with this. But in terms of red matter, we just need 3 of these. Once we have that, I want to put that in there. Is it going to make red matter? We need more Aeternalis fuels. More Aeternalis fuel, and then we're good. We'll have this. And so with ProjectE, I remember you need the energy condenser. You're going to need the energy collectors. And you can also throw items into this thing. But you need a bunch of red matter and dark matter. So once we have one of these, we can do that. I want to try to make sure we do something different than what I always do in like live streams and stuff. So I want to challenge myself and just like, that's what's fun about mod packs, just learning about it. And it's all new to me. And it's just fun. Yeah, I think, yeah, hey, look. We got it. That was actually fairly quick. And we still have a lot of coal to go in. This is where the chickens would have been really nice to have already. We would need to make cloches and a bunch of other stuff, which I haven't done yet. But we're in a rush. This will be something I may have to do off stream and then just show it to you guys. I want to quickly do, because a lot of people struggle with industrial foregoing. And I need to get that up quickly and I can do it fast. So we're going to need acacia because these get sucked better. They put out better. I don't know. Latex is what we're looking for. I looked ahead and we're going to need it for something later. So I just want it going in the background. We need a fluid extractor, which requires pity machine frames, which we can make 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's make 12. And then a fluid extractor, which requires these. So I'm just going to make a bunch. And a bunch of these. This is where having this whole setup just kind of makes things a lot easier. It's not required, but it definitely makes it easier. Okay, so now we need to figure out where we're going to put this. I think this is going to be the Dire industrial foregoing section. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, actually, no, we can't. I need to do a few things. We'll take this to, it doesn't require energy, but I'm just going to give it energy. All right. So the cool thing is, like we said, we could probably just set it up here. No, terrible. Let's set it up here. Okay. So right now we see the render area. We want to move it away from here. And then we need to make it taller. Sorry, we're going to bring it down. So we have 12, right? So that's 3 tall sort of thing that we're going to be making. So that is 3 tall. Now we just need to lower it. I guess I'm getting to show you guys a little bit of the Just Dire setup. Just Dire is a very good just mod to understand it because it's very diverse. All right, let's go away and then over this way. And then we need to grow this and grow that. That should be it. Let's move it back one. And over one more. There. So one of the quick ways I kind of do it is just this. So whatever's in there, it's going to suck. But it can suck better if it's got power. So that's why this is sending power to it. They all have power now. And I don't need to put cables in there and stuff for it. Then we need to put a block placer. Forgot to make. These are very convenient being everywhere. So we're going to need this. Simple block placer and advanced. Actually didn't need this at all. All right, so the advanced block placer, get rid of this, is also powered. So we're just going to put it in that like area here. I think we're just going to put it here. It doesn't matter because it's similar to the others where it's going to do that whole thing again. So that has to be 3 tall and we just got to move it over. So it's this way and that way. That's going to place all of our acacia. Do that. And we do that. And then now we need to push down. So this is why one of the first things I do in mod packs is actually, honestly, like I make like hundreds of usually the hopper upgrades, stack upgrades, puller upgrades, and all the like stacking copper upgrade stuff here. It's very, very useful. Now that we have that there, we'll lock that in and then we'll push down to bottom and it should place these. And then that's it. Now, oh, there's a loopy. What do we got? Nothing crazy. All right, so now we need to take this thing, the mechanical pipe, because they all will be producing. Oops. Liquid latex. And let's just move it. Oh no, I messed up. I need to pull these two and then these two. So that's why the cables will be here. And we don't need this. And then to keep it clean, it's kind of hard. Just do this. Something like that. I don't think there's a block that grabs liquids from a distance. If there is, someone let me know. So what we'll do is we'll do that. And then we need, also I make a ton of liquid drawers. We definitely work with lots of liquids. Let's put that back in. Now we need the configurator, and then I'm just gonna keep it clean. So we're gonna remove that connection there and that connection there, and they're gonna. So this is how I remember it. This is small mount, so it's like, you know, blowing. It's pushing it in, and then it's big mount, so it's sucking. And that's how I've remembered it ever since I started playing mod packs. And let's remove these. And it should be going in here. So we'll accrue a lot of these. So I think we just put all 3 in here. I don't think we're gonna need that much, but hey, why not? And yeah, okay, so we got that going, and we can turn that off. So this is another example of how just Dire just made this so much simpler. And the next thing we got to do, if we can, I mean, I'd love to make the whole induction setup. I'd love to do a lot of things, but I don't think we have the time. If we can get the chicken stuff going, that would be nice, but I think that's a future stream. Sorry, future episode. Hey, we'll do it next time. So I'll see you guys, and thank you so much for being here and staying all the way until here. Hopefully it's been entertaining. And yeah, bye-bye. Once again, thank you so much, and I really do appreciate you guys. And once again, thank you so much for being here all the way to the end. Appreciate it. And all the support really does mean a lot.